Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hope that you are as excited for this video as I am. So basically in my last video, which if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll link it down in the description box. It's my first actually project pan. It's just the intro. It just shows you all the different products that I want to use up this year, but I thought it was really fun to film, and in that video I was wearing a really soft, romantic pink cut crease, and it's done with really affordable product. It's got a secret little trick because I'm really bad at cut creases, so it's really great for beginners or anybody who just doesn't kind of have the best eye shape for a cut crease. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to be starting with the eyes, that way in case there's the tiniest bit of fallout I can just cover it up. Because it's a more, not intense eye, but more colorful eye, I kind of wanted to go really light on the face, so there isn't a whole bunch for that. But I did it only with the Ooh La La palette by ColourPop, one of my favorite palettes. It's so pretty and pink. Here is what the palette looks like. It's so pretty and it's 12 bucks and totally worth it. So we're going to start with concealer. You can use any concealer that you prefer. I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Fair 5. This is one of my Project Pan items. I'm trying to use it up, so every time I prime my eyes, I use it. Alright, our base is all set. Now, unfortunately, this palette doesn't have a nice base shade, so you can use any base shade that you like. I'm going to be going into my Morphe 350 matte palette and just setting the concealer with the first white shade in there. So the eyes are all set and we are ready to get started. I'm going to get a smaller, more precise blending brush, and it just says blending brush by Max Studio. My little trick is to get your eyelash curler, set it up against your lid, and just blend it out. It's actually quite simple, and it helps if you don't really have the best eye shape, because it just lays down the shape for you and then you just use it as a guide. So I'm going to take the first shade in the palette, which is Soft Core. Just going to get a little bit of it on my brush, tap off any excess. Again, I don't usually get a ton of kickback with ColourPop palettes, but just in case, because it does bother me. So I scooted in a little bit closer for you guys. I'm sorry if I move and you guys can see the light back there. There's just no decent lighting in my room. But all I'm gonna do is set the lash curler up against my eyelid, and it helps to create a really nice guide, especially if you don't have the best eye shape for a cut crease. So we're just gonna set that here. Get a little bit of Soft Core on the brush and just start blending it out to bring it kind of more that way to create a wing shape sort of. And I'm just going to speed through the blending and then show you guys when it's all done. So now that I have a pretty decent outline of where the eyeshadow should go, I'm not going to use the eyelash curler anymore because I don't really need it. I know exactly where to build up any color. I'm just going to kind of blend right over or above right where I put it so that it doesn't get dragged down. But I am going to bring it more into the inner corner so that it isn't so just halfway and out. And again, I'm just blending it out that way. So as you can see, it is a nice little cut crease. You can keep building up the color as much as you want. I'm just going to add a little bit more and then I think I'll be set. With this shade, I think it looks really nice, and I'm just going to really quickly do the other eye blending off camera and I'll be back for the next step. Both eyes have Soft Core laid down in the crease. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that and blend it underneath the lower lash line. We're going to go into Poodle next. It's the next shade in the palette. And again, just tap off any excess. And I kind of have it laid down where I want it to be. So I'm just going to blend that right in the outer part to add a little bit more definition, and then I'm just going to bring it in the tiniest bit. I don't want it to be too into the inner part of the crease, but I do want it to be bringing a little bit more color. Just blending, and my cut crease shape is still pretty clear. I'm just blending everything out really smoothly. There isn't really too much to show you guys. I'm adding Poodle to the outer, like, half-ish of my bottom lash line. And I'm just gonna take Poodle and kind of make it meet in this, like, corner area. Alright, so as you can see, everything is kind of all lined up and connected. Next, we are just gonna take, like, a flat shader brush. This is from the My Little Pony collection from ColourPop. And I'm just gonna get a little bit of the first shade in there, which is called Tickled. And I'm just gonna spray it with the ColourPop Amethyst Crystal Priming Spray. You can use water if you have it in a spray bottle. You can use your Fix Plus if you have it. I'm just putting it on the lid so that there's like a tiny gap between the crease and the lid shade. I'm just gonna take a little bit more because I find that applying like dry shadow over the wet shadow that you put on always works really well. And I'm just bringing this right to the most outer part of the lid, and then we're just gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So this is pretty much it in terms of eyeshadow. Next, I'm just gonna take my Man Eater eyeliner by Tarte and do a nice kind of intense wing. So now that our wings are good on both sides, we're gonna take our handy dandy eyelash curler and just curl our eyelashes and add our favorite mascara. Mine happens to be the Tarte Man Eater mascara. Alright, so lashes are on and the eyes are done. Now I'm gonna move on. I'm not really a big face person. Most of the time I just brush on like a very lightly colored powder, not even necessarily like a powder foundation. So not gonna probably be the most full coverage, but it's just a really nice like smoothing, evening out look that I like to do quite often. So I'm actually gonna go into my Profusion contour palette. It looks like this. It did come with a mirror, but mine like fell out, so ignore that. And I'm just gonna take the matte highlight shade and I'm going to put this all over my face, starting like underneath my eyes to get rid of any fallout, even though there like really wasn't any. And then I'm just blending it all over my face. I find that, first of all, it smells really, really nice. And it is just pigmented enough that it evens out your skin. And it just really, really helps to even and smooth. And it's like one of my favorite powders. And it comes in like the contour kit with 5 shades, which it's like one of the 5. Honestly, this kit was like $10 and I would buy it again just for the powder. Alright, so the face base is down, I guess. I don't really like to use cream products, so pretty much all I do is put a bunch of powders on my face. My eyebrows were done before I did the video and I just used the ColourPop brow color, but it's basically a pomade and I'm in the shade Dope Taupe. I switched between Dope Taupe and it's called like Blonde Moment. In that same contour palette, I'm just going to take the light contour shade and just lightly contour. This is all I really ever do. I'm going to go into the medium contour shade as well and just put that like right back here. And then again, just the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to take this really, really lightly along my forehead, just really up close to the hairline. And then for my blush, I'm using another ColourPop product. I'm just going to get the e.l.f. blush brush. And I honestly don't know what this is. It was a limited edition highlighter blush duo. I know that it's not sold anymore, but I really have no idea what it's called. It looks like this. It's super, super pretty though, and even though it's limited edition, I want to keep using it. So I'm just going to take that blushy shade. It's like a really nice orangey pink. And I find that whether you're doing an orange eye or pink eye or really anything that's warm toned, it seems to just go with everything and flatter every kind of look. And I'm just really gently blending it into my cheeks. It can be very intense if you put on too much. It is more of a like putty kind of texture. It's definitely not just like a pressed powder. The ColourPop brushes work probably best with ColourPop products, but I don't have all of their brushes. So I really like how this brush is blending everything out. Like it just looks very soft and airbrush. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick. It's in the shade When the Nude Strikes. So I'm just gonna take it off of my finger to the high points of my face. So as you can see, it's super pretty and like wet looking, and it has that perfect nice pinky tone to match everything else. And this is also very inexpensive, which is why it's one of my favorites. Lastly, we're just gonna go into lipsticks. Today I have the Ariel lipstick. It is in the ColourPop Disney collection. It is limited edition, but as of right now, I'm like 95% sure that it's still being sold. So if you can get your hands on it, do it. It is one of my favorite lipsticks. Personally, I didn't find the other lipsticks in the Disney collection too great. Like, I wasn't really drawn to them. They just weren't shades that I would ever wear pretty much. So this is the only shade that I picked up. It's only $7, but if you can get it while it's still available, I would so recommend it. We're just gonna put this right on the lips. It's just the perfect like nude pink, and I'm obsessed with it. So here's the completed look. Again, I'm really sorry if the lighting in here isn't the best and if you can't really see all the colors, but I'm super, super obsessed with how all of it came out. And again, these are like some of my favorite products, and they're all very affordable. So if you want a look like this, something more creative, something different, but you don't really have a ton of money, save up your money. I would 100% recommend all of these products. And there we are. Again, if you haven't seen my last video, which was also my first video, it's my intro to 2019's Project Pan. I will link it down below. Hopefully, I can figure it out. And, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little notification bell so that you know when I upload, because I still haven't really worked out a schedule for filming and uploading yet. But I will see you guys in my next video.